And we are back. Our previous lobby actually glitched, so this is a restart. And at this restart, we will take the starting positions from qualifying. So from the previous qualifying that we've had, we'll act like the race did not happen. The top 10 will need to start on the softs, except for Yagizan in P10. He actually gets promoted one position, as does all drivers behind, because I think one driver could not get back into the session. I think that's Dera Ian, who is not able to get back into the session. We are waiting for Blackbox, who has joined us tonight, as has Fruitful, now TF Fruitful. He has joined us as well. We are waiting for Blackbox, and we are going to start. So, any driver outside of the top 9 can start on any tire that they want. They'll have to make one mandatory pit stop as usual, and this will be a 25% race. 12 or 13 laps, I'll guess 13 laps around the Jeddah Corniche circuit. We'll see in just a few moments' time what amount of laps it will be. 15 more seconds for the start of the race. Hopefully I'll get a game sound, because I don't hear anything from the game itself at the moment. Yeah, we have sounds, luckily. So, Rafi once again from pole position. Ferenc in P2, Shane in P3, Mika, Kaya, Yeri, Ono, Cameron, Luke, all on the softs because that is mandatory. Then, Yagizan, Ball, Rohan, Vapor, Joey, P15 is for Davey, then Robin, Fruitful, and Blackbox in P18. Some drivers have left us, some drivers have joined us in that time that we were offline, but we are now getting ready once again to go for a bit of a sprint race here around Jeddah. With only 13 laps to go, a safety car might spice things up more than it usually does. I'm very curious to see what will happen. I guess the softs will hold on for 10 laps, 10, 11 laps probably around this track. So drivers on the mediums can switch to the softs as soon as they want, most certainly, to just use those softs to the fullest potential. In contrast to what you might expect in a regular race, with the mediums being used longer than the softs, in this short race, the softs might actually be used longer than the mediums. Look at the predicted pit stop strategy. Soft runners are predicted to stop around lap 7 until 12. So it is a possibility that they'll stop on lap 12, switch to mediums for one lap, use those mediums to their fullest potential on the final lap, just to take the advantage of the softs for those first 12 laps. It is a possibility that we will see strategies like those today. Let's look at the different tires everyone is using. All mediums outside of the top 10, outside of the top 9 actually, except for Robin, who is on the soft tire in P16. And when Blackbox has fitted into his grid position, we are getting ready to go underway here under the lights in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. Just finding his grid position, the Red Bull driver, and now we are getting ready here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit once again for the restart. 4 lights are now on, 5 lights on. The lights are out and 5 drivers have taken a drive-through penalty. It is unbelievable what we are seeing here on this opening lap. Mika is almost into P2 but has that drive-through penalty. to take into account. It is Rafi from Ferens, from Jerry, from Shane, from Kaya, Cameron, Ono, Mika with the drive-through, Robin with the drive-through, Vapor, Black Box and Joey all with drive-through penalties. Side by side through that first section from a few drivers behind. Kaya, Cameron, Ono, Robin all on each other's back. Look at Kaya finding his way past Shane but has to remain behind him. Jerry is now pushing Ferens in that first sector and actually get past Ferens. I do think Ferens does have damage. It looks like it, because Ferens is going so slowly at the moment. 2 seconds the gap already between Rafi and Jerry in P1 and P2. Jerry making a good restart here at the sprint race. Whatchamacallit. Kaya on the back of Shane. Can he get past Shane now once again, as he did in the race before? Kaya is on the back of Shane but can't get past as of yet. Shane is pushing a little bit of ERS though to get past Ferens. Ferens losing out in those opening exchanges. Did not expect that at all. Robin and Mika are fighting, both having to make a drive-through penalty. Mika goes now into the pit lane now. Roughly with 29.988. A lot of drivers into the pit lane. That moves Fruitful into P14, P13 for Davey. A move between Robin Wesseling and Luke in the Aston Martin. Luke keeps hold of P8 for now. Yeah, he actually has the same pace as Rafi. 2 seconds still the gap. So good race pace from the McLaren driver. Hopefully for him, he'll be able to challenge Rafi. I'd really like to see Jerry challenge for the win here in Jeddah. Rafi is in a league of his own as it stands, because he's in P1, not challenged by anyone whatsoever now. Davey in P14. Oh, he's finding it difficult to keep his Mercedes on track. Looks like he's struggling here on Jeddah. Oh, misses the apex entirely. Yeah, that is why he got knocked out in qualifying 1. He does not have any pace whatsoever, it seems. And Ferens made a mistake once again, because now Shane is on his back. Shane going wide though. Gets a track limit for that. Kaya on the back of Shane. Can Kaya and the Alpine make a move on Shane, going around the outside? But Shane now pushing a little bit of ERS to get past Ferens. Shane, can he go towards the inside? Yes, he can. Can Kaya go down the middle? No, he won't, but he will go towards the left-hand side. Makes contact with Ferens. Oh, no, he's into the wall. And Kaya has damage. He'll go into the pit lane now. He has front wing damage with contact with Ferens. DRS has been enabled here on lap 3 of the sprint race. Cameron on the back of Ferens, and a lot of carnage in that first few laps, and that is exactly what we predicted. A lot of drivers have made their drive-through penalty. Of course, they'll have to make another pit stop to change their tires. Ferens around that first sector, losing a lot of time to Cameron. I do think Cameron can get the overtake done. Yeah, Ferens might have damage still. Can he go down the inside? Yes, he can on Ferens. Good move by Cameron. Ferens losing out 1 more position. Jerry now 2.3 seconds back. 3 temps lost compared to Rafi in P1. Oh, Ferens almost hitting the wall. Has to go off the power as Davey gets a time penalty. Joey is in the points pink position in P11 with Mika behind him in the McLaren. Can Mika find his way past the Alfa Romeo driver? Joey getting a bit wide. Can Mika go down the inside? This yellow sector 3 and it's Ferens. Ferens is out. This yellow flag. Is that a safety car? It's a virtual safety car. And the drivers are now coming across the pit lane, so that means probably they'll switch to the medium compound. Yes, they will. Rafi will be the first one to go into the pit lane. Jerry as well. Shane, Cameron, Luke, Borrell, all will follow in except for Yagizan. He'll have to continue on because his teammate Borrell is in that pit lane. He'll continue on the mediums, losing out to all other drivers who are now making that pit stop. And this is absolutely not optimal for Yagizan's race. Rafi has come out of the pit lane in P2, Jerry in P3 for Shane, 5 for Cameron. Then it's Luke, Borrell, Ono in P8, P9 for Rowan, P10 for Fruitful. Let's look at the stops for everyone. Yeah, everyone has stopped in this race except for Yagizan. He's in P1 but hasn't stopped as of yet. He'll lose out big time as Borrell, championship leader, has ignored a yellow flag and gets a 5-second time penalty. That has to do with Ono and Borrell exchanging positions at the start of the lap, start of lap 4, under the virtual safety car on the yellow flags. Safety car has ended and DRS once again enabled, and Shane immediately tries to fight with Cameron. Cameron goes off track and Cameron gets a 3-second time penalty. That might be looked into later. Ono gets a 3-second time penalty as well, but Shane is on the move here on Cameron. Can he make the move work? No, he can't. Is there damage for any driver? It doesn't seem like it. Cameron has that move started, but now has the DRS to use. 1.1, the gap between Jerry and Rafi. Jerry might be able to get that DRS of Rafi in just a few laps. Oh, look, going a bit deep into turn 27 as Vapor Shadow gets a 3-second time penalty. Now Shane, can he now make the move on Cameron? DRS wide open, DRS open, and the ERS. Those two things combined make the overtake an easy one for Shane. He's into P4, and with the stop that Yangzan still has to make, surely a provisional podium for the Williams driver. Now Borrell is on the back of Luke. He's pushing the Aston Martin through Sector 1. Oh, the Aston Martin making a mistake. Yeah, Luke getting a time penalty. Might Borrell be able to get the move on the Aston Martin? Yes, he will. He moves past the Aston Martin. Cameron on the move. Still behind Shane. Shane overtook him, but he is able to hold on to the back of Shane through this twisty second sector. Oh, almost hitting a wall, keeping it out of the barrier just. Jerry on the mediums. 1.3 now behind Rafi. Is finding it fairly difficult to keep up with the Mercedes, but 1.3 seconds is definitely not a bad feat for the McLaren driver. Still will back P2 if he will continue on like this, but the gap is now 1.4. Rafi has 64% of ERS. Jerry has 50% of ERS, while Yagizan now in the Mercedes is into the pit lane. That means Rafi will take the lead of the Grand Prix. Jerry behind. Then it's Shane, Cameron, Borrell, Luke, Ono, Rohan, and Fruitful your top 10 as Yagizan drops down the order in the pit lane. 1.6 the gap between the leader of the race and Jerry van Bussel in P2. Cameron and Borrell are battling. Borrell has made his way past Cameron. Now almost touching each other through Sector 1, but keeping it without any contact whatsoever. Borrell in P4 is now chasing towards Shane. Oh, hitting the wall. Borrell hitting the wall. Hopefully for him, who doesn't have any damage whatsoever. But that looked close. And even a moment of contact between the wall and the Ferrari left front wheel. Now Shane is looking vulnerable for an attack from behind. Borrell is pushing and pushing even more than Shane. Shane will lose his podium position if he doesn't defend from Borrell. Though Borrell does have a time penalty, Shane doesn't have a time penalty. Look at the extra grip the Ferrari has compared to Shane in the Williams. Borrell around the outside with the DRS, and it is Borrell who moves his way up into P3, but Shane does have that all important DRS to use on the main straight. Can he get back at Borrell? Don't think he can. Pushing a little bit of ERS. No, he can't. Fruitful takes the fastest lap of the race and moves his way past. No, he won't move his way past Ono and Rohan. Can he cut back though on the Haas? This will be a great move by Fruitful if he can make it work, and he does make it work. Great move by the Talent Factory driver. He moves his way up into P8 on the soft tires past Ono. Now his next target is Rohan. Rohan has to get out of the way for Luke because Luke has spun in Sector 1 here. Yellow flags. No safety car still. And Ono has spun as well. Ono in the first sector has spun as well. Yellow flags, no safety car still. Fruitful in P7 is looking racy against Rohan. Can he move his way past Rohan in the Williams? As we are talking about Williams, Shane getting a 3-second time penalty is finding it difficult to keep up the consistent pace here around Jeddah. Rohan not having any ERS lap whatsoever. Both drivers were part of the IFR team, have moved to Talent Factory, and this is their first race together, as I think Ono has spun once again. Yellow flag in the second sector. Fruitful is gaining more and more on Rohan, as in front of them Cameron, Shane and Paul are battling for P3, the podium positions here. Shane with the help of DRS, can he move his way past Ball? No, he won't, he will stay behind once more. Oh, there's a little bit of contact between Shane and Cameron. And Cameron, hopefully for him, he doesn't have any damage whatsoever. But that looked like a pretty hefty impact. And don't think the front wing got out of there untouched. Rohan now with his softs is on the back of Cameron. Remember, Cameron, Shane and Ball having those time penalties means Rohan will move up into P3. Fruitful into P7 as Ono has retired in the pit lane. So he's out. Had a horrific race. Having a horrific race as well is Alfa Romeo, P17 and P15 for now. Kaya has DNF'd from the race after the happened, and it's a safety car. A late race safety car here around Jeddah. And this might spice things up. Will drivers pit for the softs, new softs. This will make Rafi and Jerry, Ball, Shane and Cameron a bit more vulnerable to Rohan and Fruitful with their softs, as does Yagizan still have those softs that he can use. These new softs. It's rather new softs. Jerry will continue on. Jerry will continue on into the pit lane. Jerry has gone into the pit lane to change to the new soft tires for 2 laps sprint race here around Jeddah, so he'll move up into the pit lane. New softs for Jerry. All other drivers are continuing on their way except for Luke, he's also in the pit lane, changing to the softs. Drivers who are on the softs are Boggle is on the softs in P2 actually. Oh wow, did not notice that, but Barrel does have the time to take into account. So Barrel on the softs, Rohan on the softs, Fruitful on the softs. Yagizan does have the most fresh softs out of any driver. Davey then 5 lap old softs. Jerry with 0 lap old softs. As does any driver behind. Also have new softs except for Joey and Robin, who move into the pit lane most definitely now. Yeah, Joey into the pit lane now. From P14. I think Robin will get into the pit lane as well. Yes, he will. So Robin into the pit lane as well. And that will leave Cameron, Shane and Ruffy incredibly vulnerable here in the dying stages of the Grand Prix. I do think the safety car will come into the pit lane at the end of lap 10. And as a steward, I do think I'll get a lot of reports from drivers wanting to remove their time penalties under the safety car, or at least lap 1 or lap 2 incidents where drivers have pushed off and have been given time penalties for no reason according to themselves. But we'll see about that. Some things may still change about the end results, but Ruffy is vulnerable here to the Ferrari of Burrell. That is the most important thing to know for the safety car restart. But Ruffy can control the pace in just 1 lap time. The Alfa Romeos are getting back to the pack. They just exited the pit lane, are at the back end of the track, and are trying to get back to the pack. I think is in a pretty good position with his softs. He has the freshest softs of the top 8. If he will get a bit difficult, I think, with this 6-lap-old softs, as do Ruffy, Shane, and Cameron. Also get it a bit difficult with the restart. P9 to P15 all have fresh softs, as we talked about earlier. And still, it's a race with a lot of safety cars. Virtual safety car, a regular safety car. And I got a response in the comments for the race prediction saying, yeah, Cameron will probably mess things up. Well, he's currently in P4 with a time penalty though, so will be relegated down a few more positions, but he's in a good position as of yet. Alfa Romeos are at the back of the pack. That will mean that the safety car will come in at the end of lap 10. That means we'll have lap 11, 12 and 13 action-packed here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit. And one final time, I'll ask you, who do you think is going to take the win here around Saudi Arabia? Put it in the comments. I personally think Rohan will take the victory. It's a bit of a long shot, but I do think Rohan in the Williams is going to take the victory. Safety car in this lap. Ruffy will determine when the pack will start once again. So let's go on board with the Mercedes. All drivers behind are waiting anxiously for Ruffy to start the race. 100% of ERS for every driver. They all could charge the electrical systems under the safety car. And he has gone on to the power. Borrell is a bit further back than he would have liked. 4/10 of a second, but he's on the soft, so he'll try to go for a move into turn 1. He'll stay behind Ruffy for now, but he does have the pace, I think, to go for a move later on in the race. So Ruffy will have to give it everything to keep Borrell back. And the two Alfa Romeos are battling. Joey is relegated down to P15, while Robin has overtaken him. All 4/10 back. Oh, makes a mistake, goes off track. That doesn't give a time penalty to him, but Davey has gotten a time penalty down in P9. Well, my guess for the victory in this race hasn't made up any positions at the safety car restart. Cameron makes a mistake. Can he profit from that mistake? Rohan stays behind. Kept a little bit too big. Oh, Cameron went into the wall. And that might mean Cameron does have front wing damage, but we'll see in just a few moments' time. Jerry makes his way past Yagizan. Jerry, with the freshest tire of any driver here on the field, has made his way past Yagizan and is now looking for a move on Fruitful. Jerry is looking like the man to beat here around Jeddah. Can he go around the outside of Fruitful? That looks like an impressive move to make. Jerry, can he go for the inside of Fruitful? Yes, he does go for the inside of Fruitful. They leave each other enough room. And Jerry on the inside still for turn 1 is pushing his ERS. Fruitful is also pushing his ERS, but Fruitful has stopped pushing, and Jerry is continuing on towards turn 1, and he does make the move work. Great move by Jerry on Fruitful. Great respect towards each other. And now Jerry has made up 2 positions in the span of around 2 or 3 corners. Can he make up 5 more positions till the end of the race on these fresh softs that he has? Look at the grip Jerry has here against Rohan. Can he go for a move or against Rohan here at the hairpin? Can he go for the inside on Rohan? Yes, he does go for the inside. Oh no! He has spun round. He was too eager to go for a move, and Davey has spun round as well. Oh, that's absolute disaster for Jerry. He wanted to go for the move, but he couldn't go for the move there. Oh, Jerry. You could just see it happening. He's so so angry with himself. Oh, and Mika has made a mistake as well, as has Cameron, and Cameron has bottled it, as the prediction was in the comments. Rohan is in P4, will take P2 on the road as it stands, with Shane and Bottle having those time penalties. But what a disaster for Jerry. Oh, what a disaster. He went for the inside of Rohan, and that was definitely not Jerry's move to make as of yet. I could just see him wanting to go for that move, and it was understandable that he wanted to go for that move. But it was a little bit too far back for Jerry, and now he has DNF'd from the race. P14 for Cameron, P13 for Davey. He is behind Joey. Can Joey keep behind him? The Mercedes driver. Will be interesting to see if Joey can keep Davey behind. Final lap of the race. Cameron has retired from this race in the pit lane. Davey does have damage. Might find it difficult to get past Joey. Oh, Davey is cutting the track a little bit. Joey can keep Davey behind if he gets a good exit, but he does not get a good exit. Joey will defend though. Towards the hairpin he goes. Can Davey go round the outside? Yes, he can. But can Joey get back at Davey in the Mercedes? No, he can't. He stays behind Davey. And now Ruffy, in his final lap at Jeddah, is going to win if nothing strange happens, against all the odds, because anything was thrown against him. A safety car, late safety car, fresh soft runners behind him, but Ruffy has survived it all. He'll continue on his ball, and Shane are now battling. Ruffy in just a few moments time will cross the finish line to win the Jeddah Grand Prix, to win the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Bottle and Shane are fighting towards the finish line, and Bottle finished behind Shane in the end, but the podium is for Rohan and Fruitful. Mikan gets the fastest lap of the race, but great job to Ruffy. He wins around Jeddah, and what a finish that was. Oh, and what a race it was. That sprint at the end was absolutely amazing. But Ruffy, with this Mercedes cape, wins here around Jeddah. Great race by Ruffy. First time we saw him in action, and what a great way to say hello here in TFL. Lets himself know to the competition. And what a great race it was. Rohan in second position on his return to TFL, on his debut for Talent Factory as well. Fruitful didn't even qualify and was in P3 in the end. Great job by getting onto the podium. Yagizan in P4, P5 is for Shane, P6 for Black Box, P7 for Borrell, P8 for Robin, P9 for Mika, and P10 for Luke. Take into consideration that some of these drivers made a drive-through penalty at the start. Joey actually got P11 in the end. Great result from him, taking into account that he had a 138.0 as the fastest lap of the race. P11 is a great result. P12 for Vapor Shadow, P13 for Davey, P14 for Cameron, P15 for Jerry, P16 for Kaya, P17 for Ono, P18 for Ference. I thank you all for joining us here in TFL Season 5, Round 11 at Jeddah. And it is 10 minutes past 11 in the evening here in the Netherlands. We are ending the stream now. Well, thank you for still hanging on to the stream after all the technical difficulties. And we'll hopefully see you again next week for Round 12 in TFL Season 5. Thank you for watching all.